Good evening, everyone. And I'm glad everyone's having a great evening. My name is Jonathan Colon, and I'm proud to be a part of the America Needs You First Gen U program. Yeah. So, a little bit about myself is I was born in a very unique area because I was born in the projects in Manhattan, but ironically, I was across the street from Wall Street. Which is the richest place on earth, right? So here I am, born in a very low-income area, but I'm across the street from Wall Street. And my interest in finance actually peaked in an area right between that because I was at a hot dog cart, and basically right near the area where you got basically the 4 train and. I was with my aunt, and I ran into a banker who was getting a hot dog just like me and my aunt, and I went up to this person, and I asked them, what do you do for a living? Because I'm 4 years old, and it's just kind of the thing you do, right? So the banker, he told me he was from Goldman Sachs, and yeah, he was a banker. And I'm wondering, what does a banker do? I don't know what a banker does, but I really enjoy this person's suit. This person looks very important. And that's something that I'm like, I really want to be a banker if this is what this person does. So that's kind of like where my interest in finance came from, is this hot dog cart at City Hall. So a little bit of more information about myself is that being that I came from Manhattan and I was born in this area, I was raised by a single mother, and I was also just raised by my aunt and a loving grandmother. My grandfather, who was a poet. I also had this aunt who was an art teacher, and then I had another aunt who raised me as well, and she was basically a art director. So I really had no one in finance to teach me how to get into finance, but here I am wanting to go into finance. That being said, I learned my general education from my mother, and I went through college, but I had a disability. I had ADHD, and I also had a kidney problem, which I was born with, and I had to struggle with through a majority of my life, and no one really figured out what it was until I was an adult. So I really had to struggle with this pain that I had, and I really went through all my education going through this with no medication for ADHD, with no medication for the kidney problems, and I ended up going through middle school and junior high school and high school, and I ended up becoming the first person in my family to go to college. Thank you. But now I'm in college, right? So what do I do? Because I had no one to really teach me the ins and outs of college. So I did what every other person in my position does when they don't know what to do. They go to the general idea that you have to be involved in student activities. You have to get good grades. So that's what I did, and I ended up becoming student government president. Despite being an introvert starting out, and then I represented 17,000 students in CUNY, and then I thank you. Then I moved on to becoming the first student to be nominated to the Board of Directors Association on my college as vice chairperson. Thank you. And furthermore, I actually became a part of this CUNY Board of Trustees on the Finance and Administration, and I was nominated by ex-comptroller Bill Thompson. Thank you. And doing all this, I thought this is what I needed to do to get to Goldman Sachs. This is what I needed to do to get to where I wanted to go, right? And I realized somewhat that really wasn't the case, because there was a little more that I needed to do. I needed to focus on my resume. And back when I was in college, I thought that maybe when you put these words on paper, it's just obligations. I didn't realize that there was a story that needed to be told on your resume, that you needed to articulate yourself in the best way possible through an interview. And I traversed those waters for some time before I actually ran into America Needs You. And what America Needs You did for me is it taught me to articulate my best possible self through a resume. It taught me how to articulate myself through interviews. And I used that ability that I learned to articulate myself through interviews. And I was able to get interviews with places like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, to the point where I even got an email from a recruiter at Goldman Sachs, and I was really proud of that. Thank you. And to fast forward to today, I'm now the first male in my college to graduate college with, the first male in my family to graduate college with a BA in finance. Thank you. And now I'm going for my master's, so I'm the first male in my family to go be a graduate student. And I actually co-founded an organization with a few students like myself called Prometheus Investors. So now I'm ironically a CEO, still in college. And we're focused on developing like this software to help students navigate those waters that I navigated to, but with a little more help. And I all owe it to that pitch, that information that I got from America Needs You. And I used that in different aspects of my life to succeed. So I really can't thank them enough, and I really can't tell you how important it is, what they're doing, because a lot of students, they think that this is it. I go to college, I do what I think is right, and that's all that I need to do. They don't understand that you need to build your resume up. You need to articulate stuff on your resume. You need to articulate yourself through an interview, and I learned all that through America Needs You, and what they're doing is important, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it, and thank you for investing in them and in students like myself. Thank you.